to story time. Today, let us hear a story that comes towards the end of Mahabharata. It is the time when the Pandavas renounce the kingdom and go towards heaven. The time had come for Lord Krishna's avatar on earth to come to a close. And the Pandavas, now finding no reason to remain in the kingdom, decided to keep the kingdom in capable hands, and then handing over the reins of this kingdom and the vast empire, decided to retire into the forest and then up to the Himalayas. Though the citizens of Hastinapur were disheartened, the Pandavas had made up their mind, and so, giving up their royal robes, dressed in the bark of trees, all the 5 brothers along with Draupadi set out. They first decided to do a pradakshina of the holy land where they lived and then proceed to the Himalayas. And so, first they went eastwards. When they neared the ocean, suddenly the Lord of Fire, Agni Devata, came in front of them and told them that the mighty Gandhiva, the bow of Arjuna, had been given to them with a purpose. It had been taken from the ocean, and now that the purpose had been served, it ought to be returned to its source. And so Arjuna took out his mighty bow. He took out his 2 quiver full of arrows and flung them into the ocean with great respect. This was the height of renunciation or tyaga, for the bow was very dear to Arjuna. But Arjuna realized that without Lord Krishna now, there was no purpose for the bow also. After this, the Pandavas and Draupadi headed southwards. Finally, they headed towards the west, towards that beloved city of Dwaraka, of their dear Krishna. But even that city now lay submerged under the ocean. So with a heavy heart, they decided to go northwards. As they walked towards the Himalayas, they saw the mountain Meru, the mountain of the gods, and decided to ascend it. Throughout this journey, there was a dog who accompanied them. So, the 7 of them made their way upwards. This dog did not forsake them through the harsh forests, the dense jungles, the mountains and the valleys. And as they climbed upwards, there was a sense of calmness which these Pandavas experienced. But suddenly, Draupadi slipped, fell and lost her life. Bhima turned to Yudhishthira and asked him, why did Draupadi fall? Why was she the first to die? Such a noble and virtuous lady. And Yudhishthira answered, she was noble, but she was partial to Arjuna, and for this fault of hers, she had to die before reaching heaven. And so, the 6 of them now continue. After a short while, Sahadeva fell down. And Bhima asked Yudhishthira, why did Sahadeva die early? And Yudhishthira, who was well versed in the laws of Dharma, answered, Sahadeva was vain and proud. He was proud of his intelligence, and that is why he had to leave now. And thus the 5 of them walked on. After a short while, Nakula fell down dead. And Bhima again asked Yudhishthira, what was the reason of this? And Yudhishthira answered, Nakula was vain of his good looks, and this flaw of his caused his death right now. As they proceeded, it was the turn of Arjuna to slip and fall. Bhima was again surprised, for wasn't Arjuna valiant, brave and the best of them all? However, Yudhishthira answered, Dhananjaya was proud of his valor. He was sure that no one could defeat him, and this pride was the very reason why he fell before he could reach heaven. And now soon it was Bhima's turn to fall. While falling, Bhima asked, why me now? And Yudhishthira answered, you were fond of overeating, and this flaw of yours is the cause of your downfall. And finally, It was just the two of them. And while Yudhishthira and that loyal dog walked upwards, King Indra himself came down in his chariot. King Indra blessed Yudhishthira. You are the noble, flawless one. Come, I welcome you to heaven. While Yudhishthira said, No, I will not enter without my brothers and my wife, Indra smilingly answered, They have already reached heaven before you. Don't you worry. Come, ascend into the chariot. Come with me. You are allowed to enter in your human body, and that is the only difference. Now Yudhishthira just paused. He stepped aside and waited for the dog to ascend before him. And Indra said, No, stop. The dog is not allowed to enter heaven. He will make the heaven impure by his presence. Now Yudhishthira said no. He said the dog had been loyal to us. The dog was a part of our entourage right from the time he had left Hastinapur till now. And how can I forsake someone who has been loyal to me? Then I will shun heaven and all its glories if you do not allow the dog to come with me. Hearing this, Indra was surprised. But no less surprised was Yudhishthira, for in the place of the dog stood Yamaraj, the Lord of Dharma himself, glowing in all his splendor. Lord Yama blessed his own son Yudhishthira. He said, You have passed the test. You did not forsake Dharma even when the temptations of heaven were presented in front of you. Come now, sit in the chariot and you will be led to heaven. And Yudhishthira happily agreed. However, when he entered heaven, his eyes kept searching for his beloved brothers and his wife Draupadi. But initially, Duryodhana met his eyes. Duryodhana was seated on a royal throne and was looking very smug and happy. But he could not find his brothers anywhere. As he kept searching, he found the rest of the Kauravas and was very perplexed. And then he was filled with rage. He began asking the Devatas, What kind of justice is this? The ones who committed crimes, my very enemies who walked on the crooked path, are seated here in all glory, and I cannot find my noble brothers or wife. And sage Narada, who was seated there, the great noble Devarushi, answered, What is this, Yudhishthira? After coming to heaven also, you have feelings of enmity. It is not right. In heaven you are supposed to forget everything about ill will. Is it because you still have your human body with you? While Yudhishthira answered, I will not hear any more of this. Take me to my brothers and wife. And the Devatas agreed. They said, If you insist, you can go meet them. And a messenger was sent along with Yudhishthira. The messenger walked ahead while Yudhishthira followed. The path became increasingly dark and gloomy. There was a foul stench. There was flesh. There were worms and insects crawling there. And as Yudhishthira was confused, wondering where this would end, he began asking the messenger, How much longer will it take before I see my brothers and wife? And the messenger answered, If you want, we can turn back. And as Yudhishthira was about to take a step back, he could hear moans and groans. No, please do not leave us. Your presence brings some peace, some coolness to us. Your pure presence is decreasing our torture and suffering. Please don't leave us. And Yudhishthira found the voices vaguely familiar. He asked them, Who are you? And he could hear voices, I am Draupadi, I am Karna, I am Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, Arjuna. And Yudhishthira couldn't believe his ears. In anger, he sent the messenger back. He told him, I will not return with you. If my presence can bring even a little bit of peace, If it can lessen the pain of my beloved brothers and wife, I will stay here. Go tell your devatas that I forsake your heaven and its luxuries. I do not agree with this kind of justice that you have meted out, but let me remain in hell if that is your law. And hearing this, suddenly the atmosphere changed. Cool breeze began to blow. The gloomy shadows began to disappear, and he could see his brothers and wife seated on thrones, dressed in all of the divine and celestial splendor. And Lord Indra and Lord Yama told Yudhishthira that this too was a test. He had passed it with flying colors. There was a small mistake which Yudhishthira had committed. He had withheld a part of the truth, and that had resulted in the death of Dronacharya. And this caused him to suffer a brief tour of hell. King Yudhishthira had passed the test once again. He had given up the temptations of heaven and had agreed to live in hell just for the sake of his near and dear ones. But now he was back to the place where he rightfully belonged. May this story inspire us to give up our preferences, our vanity, our pride, and also always stay on the path of truth and dharma. I hope you liked today's story, and if you did, do share it with your family and friends, and I will be back with another story next Thursday. Until we meet again, Hari Om.